the networking component to build out on IT department over the cloud system again. So where when you need some hardware or infrastructure based requirement, so those services are just put into the category of infrastructure as a service. So the services of cloud computing is just divided or categorized into these major categories. So let us start how the computing system was started by discussing the several components like the concept of traditional computing system server. With the traditional server computing concept. So how the traditional computing was working to fulfill the resource requirement of the consumers. So in okay, if the service suppose that the people's with the traditional server was enabling the services for a specific service, then they need the particular or dedicated web server, web server, or the physical machine for enabling a specific computing service. So suppose that if a service provider is trying to allocate the web services, then we need a particular machine for enabling the web this web service. So dedicated physical machines were was there for a specific service. And if you are going to enable five kind of services, definitely you will need, or if you are going to enable the four type of services in the traditional server computing in older days, so the peoples were required for at least, if you are going to enable for these four services, then you were required at least four dedicated physical machines or the servers. So here, if you are going to start your web service, then you need to reserve a particular, or you need to reserve a dedicated physical machine or a server for enabling this web service. So the dedicated physical machines were reserved, was reserved for enabling this particular service. And if you are going to enable the applications by deploying the application on a particular server, then you need to deploy a dedicated physical machine or a server again for this service. And even if you are working, if you are enabling the database facility, then you again need a physical or the dedicated physical machine for enabling the database facility. And even if you are trying to provide the email kind of facility to the consumers, then again you need to reserve the separate or dedicated physical machine for the email facility. So ultimately, the dedicated physical machines uh, was required in order to allocate or in order to provide a specific service. So ultimately here, if you see, the physical machines was not shared, or the resources were not shared among the multiple services. So here, if you are trying to uh, allocate the 10 services or 20 services, then at least you may require the 20 dedicated physical machines for those services, because the resources in the traditional computing system was not shared so far. So each service or each service was required a dedicated physical machine. And you can imagine that if you are enabling these 10 services, then definitely you will require the 10 dedicated physical machines for enabling the services. So the system administrators often often managed these servers, and these servers also have some operating system or a operating system, storage facility, and several applications uh, were runs on these systems to execute the user workload. So operating system was there, storage facility was there, and applications normally runs on the top of these services. And okay, all these servers were known by their uh, names, and the names were put on the basis of हेलो तय्यम सर को फोन करो मेरी क्लास चल रही है so sorry so those servers were known by their functions, as they function the name were put on the basis of the kind of function they perform. So suppose that if server is providing the email facility, then that server was known as the mail server, or if a server is providing the database facility, then that server was known as the database server. And the most common things in the traditional server, if I tell you, the kind of overloaded or the under loaded kind of situation. So suppose that if you are enabling these services, and sometime you got the user request beyond the capacity of the deployed servers or the server. So suppose that your server, your this mail server is only capable to serve for the 100 people, and suddenly you got the 1000 uh, request of the consumers. So in that case, your system or your server was become the overtaxed or oversubscribed or the overloaded. And in the overloaded situation, the services which the service which is running on this all overloaded server becomes the become failure due to the overload situation of this physical computing machine. And okay, there was no scalability feature in this traditional computing system. Only a certain up to a certain limit, the servers or the in the cluster of the servers, some servers can be added. So if you got the more number of user requests, then up to a certain limit, you was only able to pass the limited number of resources in the case of overloaded situation uh, for handling the over uh, subscribed or overloaded situation. So scalability and is scalability of the infrastructure was the limit of this traditional server computing concept. And if the particular server gets more than the okay, if the particular server get more the request more than the deployed capacity of its server, then its server become the overloaded server, and the services which are running on the top of this server becomes failure. And uh, the fault tolerant kind of facility or the service migration facility was not there, and the services or the service which was running on this server totally become failure, or it becomes shut down due to the non-migration policy of these services. So ultimately, your traditional computing system was facing several issues. One is the only dedicated physical machines was there, and the computing resources, or not only the computing resources, but other resources also were not shared among the different applications. And why it was so? It just was due to the non virtualized infrastructure of the computing system. So your system was not highly shared, or if you have this server, and suppose that your server have the high configuration, it have the several CPU and a large memory and the storage capacity, and your server is not shareable, then sometime the resources of this server become wastage. And it was just due to the non-sharing capacity. It was just due to the lack of non-sharing capability of the infrastructure. So the non-shared policy was there, and uh, up to a certain limit, in case of service over subscribe of a particular service, you was only able to pass this limited infrastructure in the support of a particular service. So scaling out or scaling down the services in the traditional computing system was not possible, and scalability was made up to a certain limited in this traditional computing system. And this is a quick review how the computing system was working, so that we can differentiate the facility and the capability of cloud computing as well as the traditional computing. So that's why we are recalling here how the traditional computing system was working, and what were the issues which were exist in the traditional computing system. So system administrator can implement the cluster of servers to make them more fault tolerant. However, this cluster have the limits on their scalability, and up to a certain limit you can you was able to scale up your deployed infrastructure. Suppose that if your a service is running on the top of a particular machine and suddenly it got overloaded or that server become overloaded, then in the support of that overloaded situation, then you were only able to just pass or just to add the limited number of servers because the non scalability or the scalability issue was there in the traditional computing environment. So if we take a quick review, uh, so there are some pros and cons of this traditional computing system. So it was easy to conceptualize, and whereas it was expensive to acquire and maintain the hardware. So here you need to purchase each and everything like hardware and the power backup and the software operating system. So here you need to uh, purchase each and everything in order to host the IT services, and you need to maintain the hardware as well as the software. So ultimately, the traditional computing system was so expensive and it was fairly easy to deploy the systems and to integrate the systems in the IT system. But the infrastructure which was deployed for enabling these services was not very scalable. So up to a certain limit on a particular moment of time, you was only able to scale up that system up to a certain limit. And it was just in this system, there was the facility of just take a quick backup of the data. But here, there was the difficulty of with the generating the replica of the runtime environment. So in the runtime, the replica of this complete system was not there, or generating the replica of the complete system was not there, and only limited applications or the services was virtualized. So not all the applications or the facilities or sorry or the infrastructure of these computing machines was not fully virtualized. So virtualization was uh, there, but it was very or it was the limited. So whereas uh, in this computing system, in many cases, the processor remains in the underutilized situation. So these are the some pros and cons of traditional computing system. And after this computing system, the several decades or in several decades, the virtualization technology have been developed, and with the development of virtualization technology, the virtualization just transformed the computing system into new computing environment. So, with the uh, use of virtualization, the virtual servers came into existence. So, later on, the researchers have developed the virtualization technology, and with the help of virtualization, the physical machines becomes the virtualized machines, or the servers becomes the virtual servers. And you know what? is the beauty of virtual server. So when you design a virtual server by using the software or the hypervisor or the uh, virtualization technology, the resources of that physical server or the machine becomes highly shareable. So easily, the resources of a physical machine can be shared among the multiple uh, applications or multiple different operating system. So virtual server share resources with the other operating systems. Please wait. So with the help of virtualization technology, the server become virtualized, and in a virtual server, the resources of a virtual server becomes highly shareable. And you know how the servers virtualize. The servers virtualize with the help of virtualization tools, and these tools were known as the hypervisor tools, and several service provider have developed on their hypervisor tools to design or to uh, change the non-virtualized physical server to the virtualized physical machine. So virtualization technology just transformed the oldest or the traditional or conventional computing into the new era of computing, where the services or the resources are highly shared among the different systems. So virtual servers share resources with the other operating system, and this includes the operating system applications and the storage. So okay, so the virtual machines or the virtual machine just enables for sharing the uh, resources. So okay, so with the help of virtualization, what we can do, we can aggregate the multiple or the power of or the computation or the other power of the servers by virtualizing the or by uh, aggregating the computation power of the multiple server. So how the physical machines are virtualized. So suppose that if you have a blank physical machine, then you can install a physical a hypervisor on the top of this server, and after the installation of this virtualization layer, you can just install your own guest operating system, and this operating system may be n number of operating system. It depends upon how many number of virtual or the operating system you want to install on the top of this virtualization layer. It depends upon the configuration of this physical machine. So ultimately, if you virtualize a physical machine, then you can run the n number of virtual machines or the n number of operating system over the single physical machine. And even you can aggregate the computation power of two physical machine, and After aggregating the computational power of the different physical machine, again you can allocate that computing power to the single operating system or to the single user in the, or you can represent this resource facility or this resource capacity of the different server as the single unified computing system to for a particular consumer or the for a particular service user. So here the services can be shared or the resources can be shared among the multiple users, and the services can also be aggregated, or the computing capacity of the different servers can be aggregated into a single unified computing system, and you can allocate that aggregated power to a single user or to a single operating system. The cloud service in cloud computing system, peoples are demanding for the high performance computing power. So how the high performance computing power is being allocated to the service consumers? Because dynamically the multiple servers are aggregated and the computation power is just allocated to the consumers. So here you can aggregate the services, sorry, aggregate the computation power with the help of virtualization, and you can share the computation power of a physical machine or the physical machines among the different operating systems, and these operating systems are known as the guest operating system because they can be dynamically created, they can be dynamically paused, deleted, or terminated. So this operating system which you run on the top of this hypervisor is known as the guest operating system, and this virtualization layer is actually the real power of the virtualization technology, which virtualize the resources of the server, and this virtualization layer is overall responsible for managing this underlying infrastructure as well as managing the uh, several created virtual machines or the operating system which you have created on the top of this virtual machine, sorry, virtualization layer or the hypervisor. So this virtualization layer is actually created by installing the hypervisor tools, and I was just telling you several service provider are there in the cloud computing system like Google, Amazon, Rackspace, so Microsoft. So every service provider have developed on hypervisor or the virtualization technology to virtualize the computing, not the computing, to virtualize the resources of the physical machines or the servers. So just keep in your mind. So virtualization is the uh, basic building block of the cloud computing. Okay, we already talked about the data center, and I just said that data center is the collection of or a particular place where the multiple heterogeneous, interconnected, virtualized physical machines or servers are put. So The in the data center, several heterogeneous virtual machines are there, and those virtualized physical servers are interconnected to each other. Ultimately, those physical machines are highly virtualized, and with the help of virtualization, the existence of cloud computing become possible. And just imagine if we in tradition, if you see to the traditional computing. So before the development of virtualization, only the limited services was enabled to the consumers, and if we trying to enable a single service, then we would need to allocate the dedicated resources for that single service. So if you are going to enable the 10 services or 20 or 100 or 1000 services, then you at least you require as many number of servers as the kind of services you are being allocated to the consumer, and you also require some backend servers in order to facilitate in the case of overloaded situation. So with, without the implementation or utilization of virtualization technology, the non-sharing or the resources were not shared of the physical machines among the different services. But the virtualization just change this methodology, and with the implementation of virtualization technology, the resources becomes highly shareable. Here, the resources can be shared uh, of a single. The resources of a single server can be shared among the multiple users or multiple guest operating systems. So, if you have subscribed the services over the cloud computing system, you are allocating all the services, or you are using the server in the form of virtual machine, but that virtual machine is again running on the top of physical machine. So you are ultimately accessing the physical that physical machine in the form of virtual machine. So a single server is fulfilling the resource requirement of the different service consumer or the users of the cloud computing. So the resources or the servers are highly virtualized in the cloud data center or in the cloud computing system, and those virtual servers just runs the several services or the uh, uh, different applications of the service consumers. So let's see the some pros and cons of this virtual server also, or the virtual computing system. So resource pooling is there. So resources are highly available here. So yeah, resources are put just in the form of pool, and resources you just feel that there are infinity infinite number of resources or unlimited number of resources are there. So whenever you require the resources, you may put the demand of the for the resources, and you may access the resources because the resources are shareable here, and we can aggregate the different resources from the different computing servers. So resource pooling is there, and uh, but it is slightly harder to conceptualize implementing the virtualization technology and virtualizing a physical machine is slightly harder, and highly availability of the services is there. So services, if your particular server is become fail, then you can migrate your services to the other servers in the data center. So suppose that if you are running a particular application to a server A, and your server A become fail due to the any technical issue, then this service A is migrated to the other physical machine. So resources are highly available in the cloud computing system, and you can fastly deploy the new servers as you require here, and it is easy to deploy uh, the virtual servers in the cloud system. And if you are facing some issues or the fault in the system, then your system can be reconfigured in the runtime environment. So reconfigurable of the machines or the services are there in the situation of runtime environment. So you can reconfigure your services in the runtime environment, and the services are slightly costly here. You need to only buy the rent the hardware cost, or the operating system applications and abstraction layer. Yes, please. So dynamically the resources can be optimized here, uh, and you can monitor the resource usage, what is the usage of the resources, or what will be the charges for the usage. So this is just a overview how the virtualization just change the computing system, and how it just enable to the service provider, how they can easily implement the services, and how they just enable the services by deploying the uh, less infrastructure, and with that less infrastructure how they can enable the maximum services. So we just seen in this slide. So if you have the virtual server, then on the top of the virtual server, the multiple services can be executed, or multiple services can be run. Whereas in traditional computing, what you are doing, you are enabling only a particular service over a particular physical machine. So it was just due to the lack of virtualization technology. So here in traditional computing, if you were allocating the 10 services, then definitely you will require the 10 dedicated physical machine. Whereas with the virtualization technology, if you are enabling the if you are trying to enable the 10 services, then you may enable those 10 services with the help of single physical machine. So why it is so? It is just due to the virtualization technology, and virtualization just provided the highly isolated environment to the each virtual machine, or to the each executed or to the executing service. So resources are here highly shared and isolated to each other, and multiple services can be executed on the single physical machine. And how many number of services which you can enable, it depends upon the configuration and type of service which you are trying to allocate to the user. And uh, these virtual machines, yeah, we already talked about this. So this virtualization technology is just this virtualization is just implemented or created by using the hypervisors. And this hypervisor is just a software which is used to uh, virtualize the computing or the other resources. And where you install this hypervisor, that machine is known as the host machine, or the server on the top of uh, you install the hypervisor. That server is known as the host machine, and you